One of today's topics at the motor insurance conference was insurance fraud. But I certainly don't believe that it is an issue concerning only the motor segment, but the insurance industry the insurance business as a whole. Is fraud a real threat for insurers? What was your experience?
Fraud is a huge threat for insurers. Today in the conference, it was mentioned by Allianz that 3% of each claim is fraudulent. If you can imagine that for the whole of Europe, you know what we're talking about and how large of a problem we're dealing with. We know that 1 in 10 claims is fraudulent and can be proven fraudulent in the EU. So this is a real problem facing all insurers in every line of business, non-life, life, and health.
I believe that the insurers should work more towards preventing fraud because once it is discovered, and I can share the experience in Romania, they are not so willing to take it to court because courtrooms tend to favor the claimant. Is this situation found in other countries also, or is it just for the Romanian market?
No, it's all throughout Europe actually. But what we advise the companies is to really prepare. And with our case management solution, it gives the companies the ability to collect the necessary documentation for proof, to have everything ready so they can really back up and be efficient in proving their case. So yes, it's throughout Europe, it's not only in the Romanian market, and it's something that needs to be addressed so that the processes are more efficient. And through use of our case management module, for instance, all of this can be streamlined.
I see. From the perspective of the one who commits fraud, are we talking more about internal fraud or external fraud?
Okay. What we're seeing in the market is both, but we're really concentrating on the external, the organized crimes, the crash for cash, and there's many schemes in the EU. Each country's market is unique, and the practices have been learned from other countries. So we're seeing a trickle down in the EU countries right now. So something that has happened in, say, London is now happening in Romania. And these things, we have the tools to be able to help these companies, our companies, really detect fraud and to better protect themselves and to remain more profitable.
Throughout Europe, which is the number of fraudulent claims approximately? I've heard figures from 1 in 10 to even more cases.
This is something that I hesitate to respond, and I'll tell you why. I don't think it's fair to really categorize a particular region. Our region here, CEE, is developing. We're developing. We're doing something that the rest of Europe hasn't had to do. We are changing completely our structure, our policies, and our companies are having to rebuild. So what does this mean? Yes, we're seeing fraudulent activity in the CE and SEE regions and CIS as well. It can be, and it is, more than 1 in 10 for these regions, sometimes 3 times as much. But I don't want to categorize our region. I want our companies to better protect themselves, to be more healthy.
It's true, because actually in Great Britain this is a very important issue. I believe that they have those famous Whiplash claims, which are very hard to prove from the perspective of the insurer. I think probably it's only a matter of time until they come to the countries in the CE.
Yes, these things are learned, and it passes on from country to country. But we can better protect our insurance companies with the knowledge that we have and with the experience that we have in dealing with it. So this is something that I want to bring to our regions.
What services do you provide for the insurers? What tools do you bring to their arsenal?
Okay. First of all, we get to know the insurance company because each insurer is different. All of their needs are different. So we really get to know them, we talk to them, we find out how they're working now, and then we find out how we can better use our solution within their business structure. So we can work via batch, we can work via software as a solution, depending on the data protection laws and the internal policy that the company has. We want to work as the company wants to work.
So basically you're modifying your products to the exact needs of the insurer.
We have ready product that is based on really what we have learned working with our clients. We have, according to the Celent report that was published last year, we have the most implementations throughout the EU. And we're pretty proud of that. Yeah, and we want to continue and grow the business. And that means having to know our client, having to really understand the business and what's important to them and how we can make their work more efficient and their business more profitable. So if we have to work batch, we can do that. If we work SaaS, we can do that.
Which are your main objectives in the CE and not only in the CE? Do you see yourselves as a global provider of information to prevent and detect fraud, information and the necessary tools also?
We have the necessary tools and we've built a knowledge base of information. The tools, which you've asked me before, are fraud detection, risk mitigation, and also compliance. So we offer 3 ways of dealing with the issues that surround fraud. And we want them to be open, and so what we have done is we've collected what we call fraud indicators from our clientele, things that, indicators that work to protect the company against fraud. And then we reuse these indicators according to the individual businesses, and we refine them according to if a country has a specific need. Yeah? But we're able to reuse, and this makes us very efficient.
Does it work, your platforms, your systems, do they work cross-border?
This is our next step. This is our next step. This is something that we want to do, and we want the industry to be aware that this is something that we all should do to protect our businesses, because we have so many global insurance businesses that operate in so many EU countries, and we want them to be able to share this information because so much of the organized crime is moving from country to country now. And we want to be able to plot that and to share this information and to stop that fraud from being passed on.
Thank you for your time, your answers, and we wish you the very best of luck.
Well, thank you.